we're gonna review
Leave
the,
the front light on.
it is up. We're gonna review the cubic function. Does anyone remember what it should look like? What does it look like? What is this gonna look like when we graph it? A snake, I like that. A snake.
Snake. Ooh.
Okay, now, what are numbers that you can take the cube root off the top of your head? Give me the
0.
5 easiest ones.
0.
0,
1.
1,
Negative 1.
negative 1,
27.
negative 8,
Oh.
and 8. So, these are the numbers you can take the cube root of. Now, because you can take the cube root of a negative number, and you can take the cube root of a positive number, what's the domain?
All real numbers.
All real numbers. And the range is gonna be all real numbers. That means any number that you wanna put in and take the cube root of, you will be able to do it. Some are nicer than others, like obviously the cube root of negative 8 is better than if I asked you what's the cube root of negative 6. Even though you could still do it, you're just gonna get a decimal. So when you graph this, we said it's gonna look like a, Danielle, a snake. Oh my gosh. What I did.
Yay.
Oh, look! Someone playing a joke on me.
That just sums up your time.
Okay, it's a snake.
Snake.
So now, a snake is going to give birth to another snake. What is this snake gonna look like? Now, how do I know it's another snake? Brett, can you see this on the,
I can.
you can?
I can.
Okay. Now, how do I know this is a snake? Because the parent function of this, if I knock off the 3, the negative 1/2, and the negative 2, you have the parent function, which is the snake, the cube root, right? Does everybody agree? If you remove this and this and this, you're down to the cube root of x. So now, what you're going to do is you are going to take the parent function and really quick, what were those 5 numbers that we did? We did negative 8,
1, 0, 1.
negative 1, 0, 1, and 8. We did those. Now we got a problem with this. We've got to rearrange it. We have to write it in standard form. How can you fix this? Anyone know? See this 3 right here? Where should it really go? At the very back. Do you agree? This 3 is at the should be at the very back. So now, do you remember all the transformations? What's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna go straight to the grouping symbol, and this -2 is gonna tell you to do what to your x values?
Subtract.
Yes, you're gonna add what?
2.
Add 2, you do the opposite. So I would like for you all to take your x values, these x values, and I need you to add 2 to them. Can you tell me what the new numbers are if you added 2?
Negative 6.
Very good. You're gonna keep your
Wait, what?
y's the same,
Wait.
right?
Should be 10.
It should be 10,
Oops,
not
sorry,
4.
10. 10. 10. Add 2. Add 2, add 2, add 2, add 2. Yep, that's a 10, sorry. Next, we go here. What do you think you do with this number right here? You do something to your y value. Okay, what do you do next? Take the y value and do what with it? Multiply it by negative 1/2. That's your vertical stretch or compression and your reflection over your x-axis. So if you take the y value and multiply them all by -1/2. Can you tell me what you get when you multiply this by -1/2? What's -2 times -1/2?
-1 or +1.
+1. What's -1 times -1/2? Yep. What's 0 times anything?
0.
And then -1/2 and -1. So we're a little slow on the multiplication here with those. And the last thing you're gonna do is do what? To your y values. Remember, these two affect your y values. You're gonna do what? Take your y value and add 3. Can you do that for me? So add 3, what do you get?
4.
What's 3 plus 1/2?
3.5.
What's 3 plus 0?
3.
What's 3 plus -1/2?
2.5.
2.5, and what's 3 plus -1?
2.
Guess what you're gonna do?
Graph it.
You're gonna graph these 5 points, oops.
The only answer.
So over 6, -6, and up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Isn't it a -2 now?
What?
Hold on. Never mind, just keep going. I confused myself.
You did?
Yep.
Over 1, now we're gonna go up, over 1 and up 3.5, 2, 3.5. And then over 2, up 3. And over 3, up 2.5. And over 10, which is off the page, and up 2. Now, before I connect my dots, if this were a dog giving birth, the dog is going to have puppies, right?
Can I have a kitten?
The dog is not going to have a frog,
Have a velociraptor.
okay? So we have a snake giving birth to another snake. What should it look like? A snake. So look at your graph, and it should have the same characteristics. It should have that looking like a snake. Does this? I'm amazed when I give homework or tests and I give a problem like this, and if over the years, if I could show you pictures of, I'll give a problem like this, and then I'll get people that I'll get something like that. They'll get the numbers, they'll connect them, and now how is it that that's a deformed snake, okay? You did something wrong. So you either go back and figure out where your error is. It could be in the math computations, it could be in plotting your points, but there's definitely an error, because a snake is not gonna have a different other, it's not gonna give birth to a bird. It's gonna look like another snake.
Oh, you don't know that? No,
Does
that's
that make
fine.
sense? So now, I want you to look at this problem right here. We have an issue with this one. See this 8 right here? Take a look at it. Y is equal to the cube root. We don't have a 1 in front of x, so you have to pull that 8 out. Is 32 divisible by 8? Can we pull the 8 out? What would you get? What do you get? 8 times x plus what is 32? 8 times what is 32? Can you guys factor that? 4. So when this is really the first thing you're supposed to do. If you can't take that out, you have to be able to take that a value out. In this case, it's very simple. Because 32 is divisible by 8. So what I need you to do is, for a second, take a look at this problem. This is outside. This is going to shift your graph down 2. This is going to shift your graph 4 units what?
To the
This is
left.
going to go 4 left. Now normally what you do here is you flip this number, you get 1/8, and you normally multiply the x value by 1/8. But I've got a suggestion. Can you take the cube root of 8? This is a product. Can you take the cube root of 8? What is the cube root of 8?
2.
So guess what?
Not
See,
from
this
the
is 2 times 2 times 2, you have 3 2's here. You can take this out, we just learned this. So guess what we now have?
Vertical stretch.
Yep, that's gonna, you're gonna multiply your y values by 2. So how would we do this problem? Well, you're gonna start off by writing the cube root of x. And I need give me those 5 points. Quickly, -8,
-8, 1, -1, 0, 1, 8.
0, 0, 1, 1, 8, 2. Excellent. Now, what would be the first thing you would do to graph this problem?
We have, add, or subtract
X
4.
minus 4. Can you please do that? You're gonna take all your x values and you're actually going left 4. This is 4 left, so we subtract 4. So what are my new x values if I bring these all over to the left 4?
-12.
Negative 12,
-5.
negative 5,
-4. -3, and positive 4.
good. What do I do with my y values?
Leave them.
You leave them. Okay, what's the next step I do? Take your y value and you multiply it by 2. What y values am I talking about? These y values. What do you get when you multiply these y values by 2? Okay, so that's your vertical stretch by a factor of 2. What do you do with your x's? You keep them the same. And the last step, what are you going to do?
Subtract 2.
Subtract 2 from your,
Y.
so what do you get?
-6, -4, -2, 0, 2.
Yep. So, is everybody okay with this? Sam, are you good? You get this?
This is like
Okay.
our old stuff.
This is old stuff. So now, this completes, everyone should have, I want you to take a look. Did you do this writing assignment for me? Everybody check that. Are all your notes, this paper is going to be graded, it's gonna be 2 days of work. Because we actually took 3 days to do this, but I'm gonna mark it for 2.
Is,
The first page, hang on, the first page should be all filled in, including that writing assignment. The second page, I just redid it, and we did these in class yesterday. So these should be finished.
is this on YouTube?
Everything's always on YouTube.
Okay.
And now, the grand finale. We are
Oh.
going to do,
L.
you're gonna turn that in a minute. Well, not literally a minute, but.
So what are we doing that in Monday? Well, I do like these. Where did you get that? Okay.
Oh,
Right, can you pass those over there?
should I stop recording?
Yeah, go ahead.
But